I hate this welding cart, so I set out to build a better one. I went out and got a bunch of stuff from Milwaukee, and then I picked up some metal.
Oh my god, that was expensive.
When I got home, I started coming up with my design. I really didn't like how dirty and dusty things got in my old welding cart, and I hated that when I was grinding, my helmet would get covered in sparks. With this Packout stuff, I should be able to keep my helmet safe, as well as keep all my welding accessories clean. It's also nice to be able to organize all my cups and electrodes for TIG welding.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Just wanted to take a minute before we started fabricating to let you guys know this was a pretty expensive video to make. So if you find it interesting or entertaining, it really helps me out if you hit that subscribe button down below. Now I won't take up any more of your time. Let's start fabricating. Next piece cut.
That's a nice fit up right there.
Okay, the first few pieces are all cut and fit. Really happy with how the angles turned out, but I cut this back one just like 1/8 of an inch too short. You can see there's a little gap there, and there's a little gap here. I think it's a small enough gap that I'm just gonna try to fill it instead of just wasting this whole piece. Actually, after looking at it more, I think I'm just gonna, for whatever reason, this side doesn't have them, but on this side there's these little tiny nubs. I don't know if you can see them. And I think I might just grind those flat. They don't really do anything. I grind those flat, then it should close up that gap and it'll look a little bit nicer. This is turning out great so far. Everything's fitting up fairly nicely. Didn't have a lot of practice with that saw, but it's working out pretty well. Now I don't have a fixture table, so I'm going to try my best to clamp this in place and hopefully nothing moves around here. Don't have a lot of experience with this welder either, but we're going to clean this metal up and try to do some TIG welding. So this one was that second one there. Really inconsistent speed, but at least it's not like balled up too high there. This one started really poorly, and then I moved over to, actually I think I moved over here halfway through, but you can see that laid down a lot better. Nice and flat once I figured the machine out, but didn't roll off the torch very well, and then I panicked and pulled the torch away, so we got that porosity in the middle there, and it cavitated on the end there. This one was still on the bench, and it's not very good. We're learning. We're getting there. So yeah, let's see if this fits. It's still hot, so I don't want to melt it. Perfect. Okay, let's move on to doing another level. Okay, it's a new day. So far we're making great progress. We've got 2 of these layers done. We've got the middle one here and the bottom one over there. And so far these are both friction fit. They're fitting really nicely. So next we're going to build the top layer for the welder to sit on. You guys have already seen me build 2 of these. I don't need to bore you with the third one. We'll skip straight to the assembly part. Okay, as you guys can see, we've got this thing all stacked up and it is looking sick. I'm so excited with how it's looking so far. Got one edge tacked on here just to keep this a little bit stable. Gonna try to work on squaring this thing up, making sure everything is level with each other, but so far, looking really good. A little bit worried that it might be too tall, might be a little bit tippy, but we'll burn that bridge when we get there. Another thing I've realized is that I was building this for my TIG welder. I made the top wide just to match with the rest of the cart, but I think this actually might fit both of my welders on here when it's done. I don't know for sure, and if it doesn't, I won't be disappointed, but might work out. It'll be pretty cool. That'll be a nice little added bonus. So let's keep cutting metal and let's keep tacking things in place here. Okay, as you guys just saw, I added that diagonal crossbar. You know, they say triangles are strong, all that. Turned out pretty good. Fits up pretty well on two planes. It doesn't fit against this top because that's recessed a little bit, but should be able to weld it up pretty well. Now that this thing is tacked in place, it's not super strong, but it's strong enough that I think I can pull the Milwaukee stuff out and then fully weld this up. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. Be able to pull these out. And hopefully I don't get the welding cart in the process. Perfect. Okay, that's promising. Oh, shit. Oh boy, something I just realized is I was supposed to space these things out because I'm putting these Packout side mounts on here. And yeah, I didn't space them properly. Ah, that's a bummer. It's tight, but it works. That is fantastic. That's so good. Okay. The cart is upside down, but it's fully welded now. There's some stuff I didn't weld, like the insides here. I don't think I really need to do that stuff. Maybe I should just for the practice, but all the outside stuff is all welded up. And this might be the first project I've ever done where I'm not gonna grind any welds. They're not the best, but it'll be kind of nice to be able to look back on these and see how I was doing. So the next step is we got these caster wheels. These are Princess Auto Specials. That's like Harbor Freight for you guys down south. And I don't want these to interfere with the holes we drilled for mounting the Packout stuff. So I have to offset these a little bit. And they're gonna be kind of hanging in no man's land here. So I'm gonna make up a couple little tabs, same as on the back here, just because this is recessed. Put that there. I'm gonna make a little tab that makes everything flush so it's flat. So make one of these for each corner. We can just cut it out of our flat stock, weld that on, then we'll weld the casters on. 3 inches by Okay guys, camera died while I was welding the wheels on, but everything welded up pretty nicely. Now the moment of truth. I'm going to flip this over and hopefully it's got all 4 wheels touching the ground. I'm a little bit nervous that it's going to teeter-totter. This is actually lighter than I expected it would be too. I thought this thing was going to be a tank. Nice. Yeah, it's planted. And that's pretty easy to roll. Sweet. Oh, that's sick. 2 things left we gotta do. I want to mount these plates on the side like I said earlier, but I messed these up and as you can see they don't line up. So I'm gonna make some little tabs that come off the side. I can probably drill the front ones in here and then I'll just make some tabs off the back. So that's one thing we need to do. The other thing is that I'm realizing that the gas bottle is probably the regulator is probably gonna hit right here. So I might make some things out of angle iron that go down to the bottom that it'll rest against, and hopefully that'll keep it from hitting. Along the lines of that. Okay. I'll show you guys this when it's done. This is really frustrating. Well, that should be the last of the welding, and I think we're right on track because we're basically out of gas. So all we gotta do now is drill a couple of quick holes in these tabs, and then we're ready for paint. Can we take a second to appreciate that I didn't have to re-drill any of these holes? They all lined up on the first try. Come a long way. Little magnet tray. When I dreamt this idea up, I was pretty excited about it, but this looks way beyond what I expected. Like, I'm beyond happy with how this turned out. It looks so cool. I'm glad that this all fits nice and tight in here. There's not huge gaps everywhere. This all looks cool on the side, and it works out really well for the hangers. Yeah, I'm beyond happy with this. Last thing we gotta do is actually put the welders on top here. So sick. Holy. I can't believe they both fit so well. Guys, this turned out above and beyond what I expected. I am over the moon stoked with how this looks. It looks great. It's going to work great. I can't believe both welders actually fit on here. That wasn't planned. I'm stoked that I made this because this thing is really cool. And I'm sure you guys have got lots of questions, comments, and complaints and stuff like that. Like, you know, I got hooks hanging on the Packout here. How do I get inside it? I'll put stuff that I don't use that often in there, or that's the beauty of this stuff. I can move it around. It doesn't have to stay like that. I can reconfigure this as many times as I want to. Thanks for watching, guys. Cart's all done. We'll see you in the next video.